Well, guys, it's that time again, another DC movie, so apparently I've got to defend these movies now?
And now, a conversation piece. This is The Rundown.
Welcome, everybody, to another exciting episode, another edition of The Rundown. I am your host, Giovanni Menendez, and yes, this is a weird camera angle. I'm not used to it, but we will get through it together. Welcome, guys, to another exciting episode. First things first, if you have been watching this YouTube channel since its inception, then you know that I have been closely monitoring the Suicide Squad movie ever since I did the first video, which for the past week, as of this recording, I have been re-uploading or re-sharing on social media. I did 3 videos on it, from cast announcement to pictures to trailer analysis and much more. And finally, the movie has come out, and I am just perplexed. I am marveled. I am astonished. See what I did there? By all the hate towards this movie compared to Batman v Superman. When you watch Batman v Superman a couple months ago, you could not escape the harsh criticism, and some of it was really justified. And let me tell you right now, I know it wasn't the perfect movie, and I defended some points where people just went on this senseless thing to just bash it for the sake of being a troll and just laughing along with the jokes. So I made the case of why I thought some of that hate was unjustified. I still think it has some issues. Thankfully, the Ultimate Edition, the Blu-ray version, fixes a lot of the pacing issues and added a lot of much needed exposition and scenes to help out the characters a little bit more. It still has its issues, like I've said before, but it is a million times better than the theatrical cut, and I never want to watch that cut again. From now on, it's just the Ultimate Edition. That's it. Now with this movie, I don't get it. What do you guys want? Do you want a Marvel? I'm starting to think people want a Marvel movie out of DC stuff. This movie was fun. It was action-packed. I loved Will Smith as Deadshot. I loved Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. Jared Leto, I know he can be a polarizing figure, especially with this bombastic take, but if you really dissect his take on the character, he was basically a mob boss slash a little bit of Heath Ledger, a little bit of Jack Nicholson, and much of his own work thrown into the character. And his mannerisms and all that stuff really reminded me of the 90s Batman the Animated Series Joker. He was a little bit more outlandish because he was animated, and he could go further than the rest of the live action Jokers. So I appreciated that. It takes a little bit of getting used to, but I was hooked right away. And hopefully, you know, this wasn't his movie. If you're a Joker fan, please, he was just out doing something specific. He didn't really give a shit about what was happening with the plot of the movie. This is a Suicide Squad movie. He was just a deterrent, this force of nature within Gotham or within the DC extended universe. Same as Batman. I really, really liked Batman's participation in this movie and how he is related to several of the villains and other characters in the movie. Now, this isn't a review per se, because all of you have already seen reviews. I really wanted to review this movie. So if I were to review it on that other review show, which is another thing I do here on A Week in Geekdom, I would have said, hell yeah, go watch it, it's awesome. Unfortunately, before the premiere date, people already seen it, and I had spoiled myself accidentally, thanks to Facebook being kind of douchey with their settings and all that stuff. I remember I specifically unfollowed Suicide Squad discussion groups because I did not want to see those messages until I had watched the actual movie, and that was not the case. As soon as spoilers started popping up, I knew about the villain, certain interactions, the running time, a Justice League cameo which I was not aware of. I knew it was going to happen, but didn't know who was going to show up, but I already knew, and yeah, that was infuriating, because I hate spoilers. The less I know about a movie, the more I enjoy it. Yeah, and the trailers, by the way, did a good job. Compared to Batman v Superman, where we basically knew the plot by the second trailer, this was totally different. Yes, in hindsight, every important scene is there in the trailers, but you didn't know what the hell was going on because it was just a mishmash of misdirection with the music and all that stuff. So everything was out of place, out of whack, and I appreciated that style because it keeps you guessing. I didn't know. They never told you who the villain was until you see the movie, and right away when they drop you the first hint, you're like, ah, of course. If you go back and trace the roots of the character, and I should mention, spoilers, this is a rundown, this is not a review, this is spoiler heavy. So, spoilers. That makes sense, because she is a mean bitch. If you've read the comic books from Ostrander's run, New 52, and everything else in between, she's always a deterrent. She's crazy, she's this maniacal witch, and I really liked this version of Enchantress. And some people were like complaining, like, oh, like, when she gets her second form, she's like hula dancing and all that stuff. That is sort of part of the character. The name kind of gives it away. You know, Enchantress, you know? It doesn't matter that it's like an incubus and succubus thing. The character is that loose in the head, and she wants to like rule the world and all that stuff. So I think this movie was great. It had some pacing issues. It had a little bit quirky edits that I was not a fan of, but overall it was a fun, action-packed movie and really delivered on the humor. You complain about Batman v Superman being like extremely serious, and then we give you Suicide Squad humor and people are like, nope, it still sucks. Like I said, I guess they want a Marvel movie, which is okay. I love Marvel. Spider-Man is my favorite superhero of all time. He is the shit. I love him. But I love DC movies the same as I love Marvel. They're fun movies with great characters, and really the heart of the Suicide Squad is about redemption. That is the solid theme in this movie. You are a character that you're not a good guy, so you cannot expect good values. But what you can expect is a character that's supposed to be evil or bad or dubious in nature to at least acquire a sympathetic characteristic by the end of it. And you could see it. The heart of this movie was in the character of El Diablo, which, let's be honest guys, if it wasn't for the roster for this Suicide Squad movie, which, by the way, if you've never heard of the Suicide Squad, it's supposed to be like that. It's a revolving door of C-listers and D-listers, villains coming together to work for the government or Amanda Waller, which Viola Davis played excellently, by the way. I thought she was great, one of the highlights of the movie as well. But yeah, some characters die, others get replaced, and all that stuff. So what I was saying, having Diablo there gives us the opportunity to see the extent of the DC universe with characters that nobody knows about. If you follow comic books, yes, you know who Diablo is, but if you're a mainstream fan that you don't read a lot of comic books, or you just know like the Justice League members and all that stuff and their supporting cast, maybe, you would be surprised. There are characters like that, and this movie helps solidify that. It helps bring to the forefront these characters and really expand on what is visually appealing of the DC Comics world, if that makes any sense. I don't know. I'm probably getting hate for this because it says in defense of Suicide Squad. I don't feel I should defend it because the movie is right now like the highest grossing August opening movie ever or something like that. But apparently it's not enough. I do suspect that maybe next year with Wonder Woman we will get greater reviews, but that's a whole topic unto itself, and I don't want to talk about it right now. But this movie was fun. It was great. I know it has some issues with the plot. There are some plot holes littered throughout, and Joker should have been in there a little bit more. But then again, like I said, it's not his movie. Same with Batman. It's just glorified cameos. This is about the Suicide Squad. Joker's out there doing his thing to get Harley back. That's it. And I can understand why they would cut some film. I know Warner Brothers is a little bit scared of failing again, so I could see why they had to get into a little heated debate with David Ayer and then cutting the film and all that stuff. But really, at the end of the day, this is a much cleaner, smoother, funner, quirkier, whatever. This was a better movie than the theatrical cut of Batman v Superman. It shouldn't have this huge tsunami of hate towards it. Um, Seriously, guys, read the reviews. Read the reviews for Batman v Superman, and all that criticism and complaint, and the fans trolling, especially the Marvel fanboys, and everybody else just jumping on the bandwagon of hate and cynicism and sarcasm. That was a monumental shitstorm compared to Suicide Squad, which was a fun action movie. I went in with a crowded theater, and you could know by looking at the people there, they were not comic book fans, but they loved it. Everybody was laughing and enjoying the movie. People really liked it. Some fanboys were a little upset with Leto's take on Joker because it's so different from everything else. But really, you know, there's not much to work with, like 8 or 10 minutes of screen time or something. I'm guessing, please, I'm hoping that by when we get that Batman solo movie, we might see the Joker full time. So that's going to be like the real test whether or not this was a successful take or not on the character. You know, I guess I reviewed it just now and talked a little bit about it, but some of the complaints are a little bit jarring. I know it's not the perfect movie, but you have to give it a shot. You have to give it a chance. The soundtrack was amazing. I love the usage of color, especially with the title card. It could have been a little bit better. The plot, especially by the end, could have been a little bit stronger, but overall, man, it was a fun adventure with these characters. Black Ops tale set in the DC universe. I like the whole switcheroo with Enchantress. I thought it was going to be another villain, but then it made sense, and yeah, which leads me to my final point, and you should watch this movie, by the way, seriously. Don't let other people decide. Just go watch it and then come back and watch this video if you're still watching now. The most important aspect of the Suicide Squad movie, aside from an excellent Deadshot interpretation from Will Smith and an excellent Harley Quinn from Margot Robbie, I think the takeaway is that we had our first introduction to the magical side of the DC Extended Universe and comics, and that is really important because you've got an upcoming Shazam movie, and fans are already getting a taste of magic, and this could open the gates for so much cool shit, from your Justice League Dark with members like Zatanna, Swamp Thing, Deadman, Constantine, Orchid, and so forth. You can even introduce Etrigan. But then I wouldn't be surprised if you see Enchantress again in another movie. I don't buy that Witch is dead. Witches don't die. Come on. They always find a way to sneak around. So, yeah, and characters like Dr. Fate. It's just a great moment, in my opinion, for the DC Extended Universe. The mid-credit scenes tied this movie directly to the Justice League a little bit, and that was really cool as well. So I would expect the next year with post-BVS era, now with Jeff Johns in charge of the whole operation and all that stuff with the rest of the Warner Brothers crew, I suspect a lot of people are going to change their minds about the DC Extended Universe. That's just my opinion. I liked it. And really, at the end of the day, that's all that matters. If you hated the movie, that's right. You're entitled to hate it. If you loved it, good for you. If you didn't, well, nobody's perfect. But to go on this senseless, stupid hate wave, and just obviously people are going to troll around. People are going to be like, oh, well, this movie sucked because it sucks or whatever. It's a little disappointing, in my opinion. It's a little frustrating because apparently, no matter what, people are always going to hate the DC movies. And critics are entitled to their opinions. We're entitled to ours. And just as long as we are all friends at the end. But yeah, it's a little sad that people have to troll movies because these take a lot of time to make and produce. There's talent involved. So many people working on these movies that I appreciate the effort, and I really, listen, I can't say it enough. I really liked it. I thought it was great. I thought it was fun, and give it a shot. You might be surprised. A lot of people before I saw it, a lot of people were complaining how it sucked, and then I saw it. I was worried, and then I came out like, you know, that was fun. I had fun. I want to see it again. So far, I've only seen it once, so I kind of want to see it again. I don't normally go twice to a movie, when it's in theaters, but I might just do that for this film. Besides, it's already made like $165 million or something like that, which is insane. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. So guys, I could have talked more in depth about it, but I think that covers basically what I wanted to say. Let me know down below, did you like the Suicide Squad movie? Did you think I'm full of shit and I'm just talking nonsense? That's valid too. Just remember to just don't insult people because of a movie. Thank you everybody for watching. As always, you can follow me on your favorite social media platform from Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, Snapchat, and Periscope. Just type a Week in Geekdom and I'm there for you guys. Alright, like and subscribe down below. I gotta go. I got a ton of stuff to do. Read, watch, play, and binge. And I will catch you guys on our next installment.
Thank you for tuning in to another installment. You can keep the conversation going through your favorite social media platform. You can like and subscribe to our YouTube page, follow us on Twitter, like our fan page on Facebook, and favorite our pics on Instagram. You can also write to us for feedback, suggestions, and such via aweekingeekdom@gmail.com. Until next time,